over in the link me, which will be pinned in my chat. Alright, so we're watching this fun video about dreaming.
And here's why. Interesting. This is super interesting to me. My team give me this report to show me how many of you that watch this show subscribe, and some of you have told us, according to this, that you are unsubscribed from the channel randomly. So, favor to ask all of you, please could you check right now if you've hit the subscribe button, if you are a regular viewer of the show and you like what we do here.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
All feet and broke my nose on the floor below. But the whole thing seemed to take a long time. I did the calculation and figured out that it only took 0.6 of a second to get from the top to the bottom. And I couldn't figure out why it seemed to have taken so long. So I think that got me really interested in perception and the machinery by which we view the world and take it in, and what is actually real versus what's a construction of the brain. And that's what I've devoted my career to, is figuring out how the brain, which is locked inside the skull, it's about 3 pounds, how it constructs this model of the world and which things we can take as reality and which things we shouldn't.
I think most people don't even know that there's a brain there almost. It sounds like a strange thing to say, but we've never really, most of us haven't really seen our own brains at all. We've never been able to touch our own brains at all. So it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everything I experience is true and is reality.
Oh my God.
I'm wondering how a deeper understanding of all this stuff can help me live a better life.
Yeah. One of the things that I started writing about years ago is that I think we often think of ourselves as...
All right, hold on, you guys. I need to get my glasses. But yeah, I'm going to be answering questions that are appropriate. We're going to be watching this fun video. Yeah, dude, it's like, bro, these fucking, like, incels are so fucking annoying and insufferable. Where the hell are my glasses? Pepe? Pepe? Is my son sitting on my glasses? Oh, also, I have a nickname for my son. My son's new nickname is my son. My sunshine. Yeah, man. Bitch, do you have my glasses? Thanks, baby. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, he is my sunshine. That I love. Don't worry, Molly, you're number one. Okay, let me just get the Versace ones. I don't know, there these are, but I actually want to wear the Versace ones. They're like, I think they're a little bit... yeah, I think the Versace ones are a little bit better. They don't, like, what's the word? Like... stain as much, but where are they? Oh, there it is. Just get the glass spray. Oh, Molly, no, she stole my pillow. No. All right, guys, give me like 1 minute. I'm just going to take out my contact lenses and then I'm going to start answering questions. You know, I was supposed to finish up packing, but man, dude, it's like, just so you guys know, this is literally exactly why I'm not streaming during the daytime or like when I'm like busy. It's because I do get really I get super like distracted. And I lost the cap. Great. Where did the fucking cap go, man? Hold on, you guys. Bro, how the fuck did I lose the cap? I just had my lens cap. Fuck, man. Like, where did it go? You guys give me 1 minute. I'm almost done. I just need to find my contact lens cap. Where is my contact lens cap? I literally just had it. There it is, okay. Alright. Well, now I just need to clean the glasses. I mean, they're pretty clear. Yeah, so I like these because they don't fog as much. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the lens type or what, but the other glasses are Armani. The Armani glasses, like, just fog so much more. These Versace ones don't. So, yeah. Oh my god, it feels so good to, like, be able to see. Oh, give me one more second. I just need to put something on real quick. Yeah, you guys, I know I'm taking a while, but don't worry, I'm going to be answering appropriate questions in a minute. I just really need to put something on. Because, yeah, no, there's, like, what's it called? Hello. Hello, baby. Give me a minute. Alright, where are you guys? It's okay, baby. Alright, you guys. Yeah, I should probably put my moisturize. Oh, man, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna do all that. Alright, I think we're okay. So yeah, you guys, just so you guys know, I like the brown eyes so much more. Obviously, I have no choice but to wear my contact lenses are a prescription. I have very, very, well, let me retie this. I have very bad eyesight. My contact lenses slide up my eye. Trust me, man, I am fully aware that the brown eyes look better, but I don't really have a choice because of I get inflammation in my eye, which is what it causes my contact lens to slide up my eye. That's why I have to wear a color. So, but no, trust me, I get it. Like, I know. Bro, like, why are they, like, jagged, or, like, moving like this? Yeah, I had somebody earlier, like, oh, what do you do for your lashes? It's like, I don't have any makeup on. But yeah, no, I think I see why, like, people thought I had mascara on. It's because the eyelashes are, you guys see this, like, kind of, like, moving together? Or, like, getting tangled, I guess. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, anyways, you guys, all my social medias are located in the link me, which will be pinned in my chat. Gotta go ahead and put the filter on. Do you guys want to watch neuroscience, or do you guys want to watch, or do you guys want to watch, like, stuff about the economy? Oh, my num-num. Alright. That's okay, baby girl. You know you're number one, right? Oh. Dude, Molly's, like, really angry and jealous because, like, she hates her brother. And she gets so mad whenever I, like, pet him or... Oh, and her brother's here. He's so cute. He's literally watching me. Hi, baby. I love you. Mommy loves you, baby. He's so cute, bro. Dude, like, my son's very clingy, man. Very, 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 very clingy little demon. Man, let me tell you, my Y chromosome virus, bro. It's a very clingy virus. It's a level 10 clinger. Man, he's probably, like, the clingiest virus. I love you. And he's always like, dude, and he follows me all the time. It's really cute, bro. Really, really cute. Like, I do love my son, bro. Like, I love him. It's very sweet. But yeah, like, I never thought that, like, that there'd be a good Moid, bro. It's like, my son is so good. Isn't that crazy? Wait, apparently there was a... Wait, hold on. Okay, today's 4th of July. I see. Okay, let's watch. Let's watch something more fun. Who the fuck is Blaze Taylor?
Fran, this is not the worst of the worst? What could be worse than killing your own child and your own child's mother?
Tonight, guilty on all counts. A jury finds former Tennessee Titans player scout Blaze Taylor guilty of killing his pregnant girlfriend, Jade Benning.
America's most notorious psychopath, child psychopath. Of course, it's a male.
Interacting with them, just
We'll start the queue of 100. Yai.
research. Do I get
For you to assess the risk.
anything happens to me? Everybody's gonna know exactly where to look. So maybe in some way, it's an insurance policy.
I believe.
Seems like this should.
Thank you very much. I suppose my first question for you is, why are you doing this interview? What do you hope to get out of this?
I believe that the most important goal for me is to show people that I may be incarcerated, but that does not necessarily mean that I am a monster or a villain.
You are a villain.
The mistake I made 12 years ago at the age of 13 is not something that defines my life.
I've seen video footage. I've seen still photographs of you together. You playing the role of
perhaps protective older brother, her as the cheeky, mischievous younger sister. Can you rationalize or explain now how you came to do what you did to your sister?
I don't think I can easily explain everything, because if I could, we wouldn't be talking about it 12 years later. I think that's been one of the biggest challenges for other people through the years, because no one likes to be confused. No one likes to be bewildered. We like easy answers.
Growing up, no one had suspected that Paris was a psychopath, and that the murder he committed when he was only 13 had been meticulously planned.
Oh shit. Holy shit, he fucking unalived his own sister.
4-year-old Ella Bennett was fatally stabbed. Taken into custody was her 13-year-old brother.
Paris Bennett convinced his babysitter to go home early while their mom was gone. He stabbed Ella 17 times.
From what I've read, you were weighing up various options. One was to potentially kill the babysitter. One was to kill your mother, with whom you had lots of anger towards. And the other was to kill your sister. And in the end, you determined that if you killed your sister, but didn't kill your mother, that your mother would then live her life with the agony of losing her little girl, and that might be a bigger punishment than killing your mother. Is that a fair characterization of your thinking?
Yes, it is. For many, many years, there was just this hot, flaming ball of wrath in the pit of my stomach, and it was directed at my mother.
Oh my
And
god. Daughter or an
one of the reasons why I
abortion?
chose to kill my sister and not someone else's, because I knew that by doing so, I could hurt my mother in the worst possible way. Because I had always known as a child that the most devastating thing to my mother would be the loss of one of her children. And I found a way to take away both her children in one fell swoop.
A person who has normal empathy, normal emotions, when they talk about their crime, you can see it. They have a tell. They tremble, they look down, their faces blanch, they get red, their voices begin to crack, because it is evoking genuine emotions and feelings from that memory. He has none of that.
His affect is very flat.
Yeah.
You can be talking about
This
the
is
murder,
this is
or
all
you can be
men, by the
talking about
way.
the books he's reading.
Right.
But the affect is exactly the same all the way through.
You have a very good memory, I'm told. Like really almost a photographic memory of stuff. Do you remember the day of the murder very acutely? Is it a very vivid memory?
I remember impressions more than I do vivid memories. It's not like there's a film in my head that I can just play whenever I want to. That's really all I can say about it. There are parts that are very, very clear, and there are parts that are hard to remember.
He has an amazing memory when it comes to a lot of other things.
So
But when
lying.
you start to ask, because I've asked, like, where did all this start? That's when he starts getting vague.
At what point in that day had you decided you were going to kill somebody?
It wasn't like I was crafting a plan to rob a bank where I knew that at this time I'm going to do this, and then at this other time I'm going to do the other thing. I think that a deeper, darker part of me, a part that doesn't express itself in articulate words, I think it knew what it was going to do, and I understand that I'm completely depersonalizing a part of my own mind right now. But I think I understood in an intuitive way that I was going to do something. I was caught up in a current, and I was just being swept along.
He said it wasn't like I was creating a plan to rob a bank, except that's exactly what he did. He had a plan.
Liar,
He had been
yes, he's a
planning for
fucking
long period of
typical
time.
man.
The babysitter didn't just leave. He coerced the babysitter to leave because he needed the babysitter gone in order to put his plan into action.
It was Super Bowl Sunday. He knew his mother had to work late. He knew he would be alone with his little sister if he could get rid of the babysitter.
There was always a plan.
Yeah.
Kisses, sister. Elmo loves her big brother. Like, hello, these are my children.
Dude.
At the time of the murder, Charity was working in a restaurant while studying for a master's in education. She was a single mother, but her family
Man, fuck
were
you
well off,
guys,
and her
dude.
children had a comfortable upbringing.
I said stop a minute.
Y'all are so serious.
They seemed like a normal family to me. He was a good
Man,
big
you
brother.
guys are
I
disgusting.
remember hearing that he'd help her pick out her outfits. She very much would depend on him for fashion. If you were gonna stereotype him, he sort of seemed like a skateboarder kid.
He ended up unaliving his sister.
Said, hey, by the way, I
That's
think
4.
Paris is a psychopath. His teachers didn't recognize it. Your teachers spend more time with a child than most parents do.
Once the babysitter had left, there was just you and Ella in the house, and she was asleep at that stage. Is that right? And you take a large knife and you go into her room and you stab her twice at the start of this process. When that happened, you could have saved her. You could have called the 911, the emergency services. That moment is very interesting to me about the calculation you made then to continue when you had hesitated and could have spared her.
I remember that. And I remember that it was like I was struggling with myself. And this isn't meant to suggest that I hear voices or that I'm crazy or anything, but it's almost like one part of me was the part of me that knew what I was doing was wrong. It was the part that loved my sister and would have turned the world upside down for her. And the other part was
Y chromosome virus.
wounded, twisted, dark part, the part that had been in pain for so long and wanted misery loves company. It was the part of me that wanted to cause pain.
So
to
all
take
males are
pain
sick
I
and
was feeling,
evil.
Give it to someone else.
You know, because it is really disturbing. It's like when you look at the videos and pictures, it looks like, you know, it looks like they got along. You see them playing, you know, like when I look at the videos and the pictures of the footage of the brother and sister hanging out together, I don't see any red flags. I mean, it looks like, you know, like if I was that mom, oh my God, my kids get along. Like, oh, he loves her, you know, like I genuinely like no red flags. So, but I think he, you know, like what he's saying is very interesting, a split personality. You know, there's one part in his sick male head that's like, oh, I love my sister, this is my bestie. And then there's the other part of, I'm a sick man, Y chromosome virus. So every male has the Y chromosome virus. It doesn't matter how they feel about you. It doesn't matter how they interact with you. It doesn't, none of those things matter because it doesn't erase the Y chromosome virus. That's what I'm seeing. And honestly, this is really disgusting.
I remember that even during the time that I was stabbing her, I was struggling with myself to stop. But
struggling to stop.
I just didn't struggle hard enough. I didn't put up a good enough fight against myself. And I remember thinking once I had started that it was too late. I couldn't stop.
There you go. That shows you men's nature. You were struggling to stop?
I have to see it through.
That's disgusting. Dude, males are sick. You were struggling to stop.
There will be people who watch this who will be astonished that you would want to have anything to do with him, given that he killed your beautiful little girl. What do you say to people who are astonished?
Well, he's my son, And as a parent, I always have believed that you give your children unconditional love. And I'm also the parent of a person who obviously has a mental health issue. I mean, he is a psychopath, but I don't know how to stop loving my children.
There are many experts who've said to you he remains potentially highly dangerous.
Yes.
He's due for parole in a few years. Are you not worried that, that when
Oh,
he comes
shit.
out,
Yeah.
he might
At
come?
first, I was gonna say, well, I mean, I don't see the problem with mom talking to her son like he's in jail, but he's about to get released. Okay, that's not good. That's problematic.
And try and kill you?
Yeah, I do worry. I mean, I'm afraid of Paris still, but it's possible to love him and forgive him and still be afraid of him.
But once Paris walks out of those prison gates, at that point, how dangerous do you think he could potentially be?
I think under the right set of circumstances, he would do it again.
Psychopaths, unlike the rest of us, don't show emotion when confronted by situations that we would find distressing. I wonder how Paris will handle this. You call 911. Have you heard back the tape of that call yourself?
No, but I've been told about it many, many times.
We have a copy. I was going to play it to you just to get your reaction to it, if that's all right with you.
I really don't want to hear that tape.
You don't want to hear it?
I don't want to hear that tape.
Why do you fear hearing it?
I don't fear hearing it. I know that hearing that tape is going to cause me to break down. And when I leave this interview room, I have to go back out into a public environment where any sign of distress or emotional weakness is bait to predators.
He doesn't want to hear it because he thinks it's going to upset him, but we haven't seen an emotion on his face yet. No. He doesn't want us to play it because then we will continue to see his flat affect, his complete lack of emotion, lack of empathy, lack of feeling.
Well, and you might have to actually try to fake some tears.
We are about to play you that 911 call. Paris sounds convincing. The forensic evidence has proved that he is lying.
Traveling 911.
I actually killed somebody.
You think you killed somebody?
My sister, I stabbed her.
Okay, where'd you
Yeah, crocodile tears. I could hear that.
Lots of places.
Oh, lots of places. I didn't mean to. Bro, this is a joke. What the fuck?
Put your hands on her chest, but I want you to push 30 times. All right. Go ahead, count.
All right.
He counts along with the 911 operator. 1, 2, 3. When in fact he was just walking around with the phone.
He wasn't even in the bedroom.
He fakes that he's doing it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Typical male.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Do you remember what happened after the emergency services turned up at the house?
I remember that a male officer walking past me into the bedroom, and I remember hearing him mutter, "Oh my God," when he saw what I had done. And I remember, I just felt like I was drowning in shame, knowing that they saw what I had done and knew that I had done it.
She's a beautiful little girl. The detectives covered Ella up to her neck so she could see her daughter's very beautiful face. And I hated to see Ella, but I also didn't like Charity having to see her daughter like that.
This is Paris Bennett reporting live. This is Ella's pulpit reporting live in Ella's pulpit. This is the suspect of the dirty diaper. Okay, creating dirty diaper. Ella. Ella Lee Bennett. What do you have to say, Ella?
Your sister Ella was just a young girl, obviously. What were your feelings towards her?
Dude,
as
this
her
is
brother,
so
her older
scary because, like, I have a son, dude. It's like, dude, and I worry, what if my son one day fucking unalives one of my daughter? Dude, if my son ever unalived my daughters, like, bro, I'd throw him through a paper shredder, dude. Like, bro, I swear, bro, it's like, yeah, now I'm paranoid about having a son. Dude, it's like, now I don't want a son anymore. Bro, like, should I get rid of Paisley? It's like, dude, like, yeah, man, like, what if some shit like this happens, bro? Yeah, dude, like, should I get rid of my son? Cause, dude, like, bro, like, my daughter's number one, homie. Like, yeah, fuck that shit, man. If this happened to me, I would not be acting like that, Mom. I'd be like, hey, you know, what's up, court? I'd like to submit a personal request to the courts. Can you guys, you guys could stone my son. He fucking unalived my daughter. My son's sick. I don't see any path of redemption. Please don't give him parole. Come on, bro. He fucking unalived his own baby sister at 14, man. Homie, you know there ain't no redemption from that. The rocks. Like, seriously? Like, this is disgusting, dude. Oh, my poor Molly. I'm so sorry you have a sick brother. I
We can
hate
sit here and
him.
talk all
Don't
day
worry,
about my
I
feelings
hate
for
him
my
again.
sister. A description of my feelings isn't something that I can give you in the brief time that we have together, because I loved her. I loved her with every fiber of my being. But
You say that in the present tense.
Yes.
I mean, she's dead because you killed her.
Yes.
But you love her.
Yes, I do.
Do you think you understand what love is? I mean, are you capable?
I don't really know how to answer that question. And I'm not saying that to be difficult or stubborn, but it is not simple. So I can't just point at something and say, okay, that's love. I recognize it easily, and I feel that.
To me, this question is a no-brainer. This hurts. That there is at least one thing he should be able to point at and say, that's love. And that's the fact that I'm still here and have supported him throughout this process. Because
that's on you,
my
Mom.
feelings for him are very complex, but I can very easily say that's love.
As they say, it's like asking a colorblind person to describe the color red. They can't do it. He can't describe love because he can't feel it.
He doesn't feel anything.
Lack of empathy for their victims is a classic psychopathic trait. Paris was able to coldly murder his sister just to punish his mother.
Why did you have such anger towards your mother?
Yeah, I want to hear the reason for this.
I spent a lot of time feeling alone as a child. A lot of time feeling left out. Not only by my peers, but also by my own family.
See, every time he says, because I've heard him say that before, that he felt alone or left out, I'm always amazed. Like, where did that feeling come from? Because for the longest time, he was my only child. Life revolved around Paris. He was very loved by everybody. I was very present as a mother. How could he have felt that way? Because I remember his childhood completely different.
But you had done this specifically in the end.
Yes.
To cause your mother maximum pain. This has achieved your goal, which was to effectively mean your mother lost both her children at once. One to death.
Can I have you?
One to incarceration. When you saw her completely grief-stricken and in utter torment, that is what you were hoping to achieve by your actions. So I'm just curious whether the reality of what you hope to achieve lived up to your expectation or hope.
No. At no point did I ever feel like I had accomplished something or that I had achieved a goal. And one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to talk about how I felt at that time is because I'm completely estranged from who I was then. And now I can't comprehend how I could ever have thought that killing my sister would solve my problems. It's like we're here talking about a completely different person. It's like you're asking me.
He's only upset that he's consequences.
Try to climb inside
oh, I can't comprehend that I would get consequences. I didn't know I'd go to jail.
And I realize we're talking about myself, but it doesn't feel like we are.
Is he the purest personification of a psychopath?
He evidences many of the traits of really strong psychopaths. If you can kill your little sister in a really horrific way, then literally anybody can be your target.
And it would be a mistake to think that he's going to age out of his propensity for manipulation or crime. Psychopaths are in a class by themselves. They don't age out. It's really a lifelong affliction.
You're in here for a monstrous crime. That, I presume you would agree. It was a monstrous crime. You've always challenged the notion that you yourself are a monster. Professionals have said you're a psychopath. How do you categorize yourself?
To respond to the question about whether or not I may be a psychopath or a sociopath or whichever phrase you want to use, I want to point out in the most recent edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, psychiatrists and psychologists and other mental health professionals now favor the idea of spectrum. And I'll be the first to agree with you. And yes, I did commit a monstrous crime, but does one mistake define my entire life? And does that one mistake mean that I'm at the extreme end of the spectrum? I don't think it does.
He's done his research and he's expecting the question and he has a completely rehearsed answer. Yeah. The subtext of everything he wants to say is designed for his future parole hearing.
Exactly.
Mom, what's your least favorite word?
My what?
Your least favorite word. Or sentence.
I don't know.
Peanuts your least favorite?
Yes.
Your relationship with your mother is very complicated. And she's been advised by professionals that she should have nothing more to do with you. She should relocate somewhere.
Why are they letting him out? Like, if all these professionals are saying all this, then why is the judge letting him out?
Several links with you. That professionally is their advice to her. She's refused to act on that advice and describes what she has for you as unconditional love. What do you make of your mother's decision to stand by you?
It astounds me, the fact that she can still love me and the fact that she still cares for me and stands by me. It astounds me every day.
You have an IQ of 141, which is pretty well genius level. That would make you an exceptional intellect for people who are normally in prison. One of the things most people say when they serve a lot of time is just how boring and repetitive, mundane the life is. How do you deal with that?
Books. I am a voracious reader. I'm always reading. And
what are you reading at the moment?
Well, I'm reading several things at the moment right now. I am reading a collection of horror stories edited by Mark Morris, and I am reading the newest issue of Black Static, a zine published in the UK.
People might be surprised that you read horror stories. given you lived through a horror story?
I enjoy reading horror and dark fiction because it can be hard for me to read novels about mundane life and mundane concerns. When I read a horror story, it's almost soothing in a way because I find myself, it's almost like I'm touching the mind of the writer, someone who understands, who has either been in a dark place, him or herself, or has seen that place and is able to express it or articulate it in a way that I feel I can't.
For him, as a psychopath, he needs that thrill. He needs the excitement, and he's not getting it here.
Right.
And that's my concern, is when he gets out, that it will no longer be mundane. He'll be able to exercise the things that excite him.
Right, and the only thing that he finds, his word, soothing, is horror.
Yeah.
Soothing, because it is reassuring to him that somebody else has a dark mind like his that can write about horrible stuff like he's done. He doesn't feel so alone or aberrant in this world.
Absolutely.
Because if somebody else can think it and write it into a novel, then he's not weird. He's fine.
Hey, Paris, what is your problem?
I am the ghost of Paris. You will suffer. I will kill you. Hey.
He's frightening. The calculation that he took at 13 to commit this is horrifying in that at 13,
Daughter
he
or
was
an
able
abortion, bro. This is fucking
to
crazy.
manipulate a situation in order to
Like, this is
do
actually
something so
like I
heinous
said, you
most
guys
people
learn
wouldn't
from
even
this.
think
Like,
about
I
it,
hope you
yet
guys are listening and paying
he
attention.
manipulated a
This
situation
male
in
unalived
order
his
to carry it
4-year-old
out.
baby sister
What
at
is he
14.
now? He's older.
Dude,
His
it's
intelligence
crazy, and
hasn't
it's like they
diminished.
seem to
He
get
will walk
along,
on the streets.
and out
He
of
will be
nowhere, he
somebody's
just decided to do
neighbor.
this on a
He'll
whim
be out walking
for no
amongst
reason.
everyone, and that's terrifying.
I think viewers at the end of this are going to be absolutely stunned that somebody like this could potentially be back on the streets in a few years' time.
I mean, one thing we know, that if this had happened 5 years later, he would never be getting out. He's only going to get out because he was a juvenile.
But at 13, you know what happens if you kill someone. And I often wonder, did he choose to start acting on his murderous fantasies early, at 13, knowing that he would have a chance of getting out in his mid-30s?
The question for me, Paris, is this: you're obviously very intelligent, very articulate. You pause before almost every answer you give me for thought. Your demeanor, the way you're sitting, is very measured. It's very, like, regulated, I guess. For all the charm that you obviously can turn on, that actually lurking inside you is a very dark side, which makes you exceptionally dangerous. And that the only reason you're in such apparent control is because you don't want to do anything that might stop you getting out of here. What do you say to people that believe that about you?
I say to the people who believe I'm just biding my time until I get out that they are fools. And I have nothing but scorn for them. Because, and I realize that, as you say, my demeanor, I understand the way I present myself is disturbing to some people. I understand that I paint myself in dark hues. And I really don't care because I'm being honest. This is who I am. And I've reached a point in my life where I really don't care about what people think about me. That's one of the reasons why I agreed to the interview. But I know myself. I have
Do you care what I think about you?
I would like you to appreciate the fact that I'm willing to be honest with you.
This is affect changing. He's getting
It's a one flash of anger we've
Yeah,
seen.
he's getting angry.
I would like you to
How do
think-
I know you're being honest?
Because I've basically just sat here and told you that if there's a spectrum of aberrancy, that I'm far from normal. I've agreed with you when you've described my actions as heinous and monstrous. I'm not protesting my innocence. I'm not downplaying the severity of what I've done.
He does not like being confronted.
No.
on the reality.
This is his narcissistic aspect of him. Like, people are stupid, and I scorn them, and I know how to control myself, and these people, they don't understand.
He's not going into the fact that he's been in prison since he was 13, so he is completely isolated from an outside world that he would have no idea of how to control himself in.
I don't think that he would walk out of prison and immediately go on a rampage, but Paris describes what's inside him as his wolf. When he was younger, he called them his tentacles, that they would come up, out of the darkness and pull his mind to these dark places, and now he calls it his wolf. And he tells me that he's figured out a way to keep that wolf on a chain, buried in his mind somewhere, and like this huge vault with all these locks on it. And, but my response to him is always, but the wolf is still there.
I suppose the ultimate question, isn't it, is that you're serving this sentence. You come up for parole in 2027. Do you remain somebody who has that dark side and may have moments, if you came out of here, where you're out of a controlled environment, where you lost control again and did something heinous again?
I can tell you with complete conviction that I refuse to ever do anything like what I did to my sister ever again. And I know myself well enough to know now that if I ever did lose control again, I would be the one I hurt. I would hurt myself because I refuse to do something like that again. I refuse to do that to someone else. I refuse to put myself back into prison. The only person I'm dangerous to is myself, because at the moment, the very moment that I feel the chains slipping and the bars bending, the very moment that I detect that dark part of myself coming back out again, I would remove myself from the equation.
But you accept it might be there.
Yes, I do.
By accepting that your dark side is still there, you must also self-evidently accept that you might potentially be dangerous. We have to take your word that you can control that dark side. And it's something you've not been able to control in the past. You accept that.
I agree with that.
Paris may well come after Charity when he's released. For psychopaths, grudges often become obsessions. And now, she has a new child to worry about. 6-year-old Phoenix.
Happy birthday to you.
How old am I today? You can say it out loud.
Paris has a new brother, Phoenix.
Thank you, love.
He is the good guy and I got the bad guy.
Yeah? What's the bad guy's name?
The experts believe he is likely to be in danger when Paris is released. They've never met, but they've often spoken on the phone.
What are your feelings towards Phoenix, who is your half-brother?
I love Phoenix in a very deep and strong way. I want to be able to spend time with him. I want to be able to be the brother that I should have been to Ella. And anyone who thinks that I harbor any resentment towards him is a fool.
I don't think that you can deeply love somebody that you've never even met. And when somebody says, Charity, tell me about Phoenix, the first thing I do is I smile, right? But with Paris, you ask him, how do you feel about your brother? And it's 5 seconds of nothing. And then I deeply love my brother. I've never bought it.
There's another way of looking at it, of course, which is that you have exactly the same strong feelings towards Phoenix as the ones you articulated you had towards Ella. And there are people who say to your mother, What are you thinking? Having Paris have any kind of relationship with Phoenix, given what he did. And if Paris was released, would you not live in abject terror that that dark side that you've said is still there, but that which you can control, might not again explode with anger about your mother, whatever?
Why is it that people assume that I'm just sitting here in prison biding my time and looking at my watch and counting down the days until I can get out and pick up a knife and continue my killing spree? That is ridiculous.
Well, here's my answer to that question. We don't know, do we? Because you've done it once. You did it to your sister who you loved, who you say you still love. And it can be argued that anyone who is capable of doing that to a tiny girl who's their own flesh and blood, their own sister, clearly has a streak in them, a psychopathic streak, which means it cannot be completely ruled out that you don't have that potential to do it again. That's the answer, isn't it? Which would, I'd imagine, you being a smart guy, you know that's the answer, really.
Every single person walking around has it in him or her to commit murder in the right circumstances. Margaret Atwood once wrote that if we were all on trial for our thoughts, we would all be hanged. And I want to remind people that there is more to me than a mistake that I made 13 years ago.
If you were your mother, would you keep up contact with you?
I would have kept contact.
Why?
Because I don't believe that anyone is above redemption. If I ever get out of prison and have a child and someone murders my child, I will talk to the person who murdered that child. I will at least give him a chance.
But you see, okay, here's where I pick you up again. You've painted a scenario where you may have a child in the future. Say you had a little girl and somebody stabbed that little girl to death, 17 blows of a large knife. I find it very hard to believe that your reaction in that circumstance would not be murderous towards that person.
If that's what you believe, then you clearly need to spend more than an hour with me because you don't know me that well.
I would think that's a natural reaction of most fathers.
You're right, and I agree with that.
Why would it not be yours?
Because after living the life that I've lived and aching every day for a chance to be seen as more than just the murderer, I would give that person that chance.
First of all, let's be clear. He's not talking about the hypothetical person who kills a hypothetical child. He's talking about himself.
Because it all came down to the redemption.
Yes, it was all just, I would forgive them, I would sit with them, I would talk with them.
This is basically a statement to charity to say, I am redeemable, and I hope the parole board thinks that I'm redeemable.
Yeah. We all say, I love my child no matter what. We also all say, if anybody hurt my child, that's it. So her position is so unique. I think sticking by Paris is her way of not letting him have stolen both her children from her.
I just want to show you before we finish just a picture of your sister, Ella. That's her just before she died. Beautiful young girl with her whole life at her. What do you feel when you look at that picture?
I feel like I don't deserve to be shown that picture.
What do you mean?
I am the reason why that every picture of my sister is only of her as a girl. I'm the reason why there are no pictures of her at age 5 or 6 or 7 or beyond. I'm the reason why that you will never have new pictures of her, and I don't deserve to look at that picture.
Paris, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I was serious when I told you that I refused to ever do something like this again. I was serious when I told you that that mistake doesn't define me.
I get that. I mean, is the scariest thing for you actually not being able to be 100% certain that you can control yourself?
I think the most distressing emotion I've ever felt in my life is powerlessness. And interviews like this are a way for me to gain a sense of power over myself through self-knowledge.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Paris.
Psychopathy can't be cured. He cannot change. He can be managed, which is why he's in a prison, but it will never go away. In my opinion, he should never get out.
I think Charity potentially is exposing herself and Phoenix to a situation that I don't think she really understands.
Charity will in time face a terrible decision. One as a parent I just can't imagine. Can she completely cut herself off from Paris to protect Phoenix?
Charity,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm okay.
You okay?
Exhausted.
I bet. How are you feeling about it all?
Well, I'm not surprised, but it's still, parts of it I'm not surprised at all. Other parts are definitely hard to hear again. What happened, his thoughts the day of. Other parts, you're just kind of like, that shouldn't be hard to answer.
Like what? Which bit?
Do you love your mother? You know, I can't really give you an example of what love looks like. It's like,
It felt to me like he was trying to convince himself he knew what these feelings are, but that
I'd say
actually,
that's valid.
I don't think he genuinely feels them in the way that a normal person would. My other big takeaway from it was, especially if I was you, was when he talked about this dark side still being inside him, but that he's the only person, obviously, who can control that.
The fallacy, like you say, is that he believes he can control it. But I think that's where the narcissism comes in.
If I was in your shoes and I had a young child, and there was even a possibility that Paris could come into contact with that child at some stage down the road, that would terrify me. There were unnerving moments in my interactions with him where I really felt I was looking at a genuine psychopath. I mean, somebody who was capable of pretty much anything. Why does not a large part of you want to get away from all this for the sake of Phoenix?
Oh my God,
I mean, there
this
will
is
come a
point
point in
Alright,
time
I'll
where
see you
I will
guys.
not be able to mother